Hi everyone, this is CherryEnchantress, and this is your daily dust for Wednesday, December 27th if you're watching in real time, but it can also be for whenever you stumble upon it. It can be just a random message you just come across on whenever day you stumble upon it. I have no real theme going on right now. I just decided that the romantic tarot was calling to me. I made a nice little section in my shelf full of love decks, and I decided that this is one I want to use right now. Also, I did this a day ahead of time, so I did have to do the 26th on the day, but I'm doing the 27th today, which is I just wanted to say happy birthday, Linnea. This is my niece's birthday, so if she listens, I don't think she listens, but anyway, happy birthday out there. All right, so let's use the romantic tarot. Okay, let's see what's going on for this day. I'm going to get a 3-card collective message. Here we go. This is one of those colored border, they're kind of like white border decks that I actually like. And by the way, I take from the middle, but maybe the Hierophant is important, having to do with ceremony and marriage and commitments and Taurus. Let's take from the middle. Ooh, cute. We have the 5 of Pentacles and the 2 of Wands and the 6 of Cups. All right, let's zoom on in and see what we get. Okay, so 5 of Pentacles is a very curious card. Most of the time it represents like the people being left out in the cold or feeling like they are. So it's like a little lady with a coat, with like a shawl, and and a little boy hobbling with a leg messed up. Oh my gosh, that makes me think of my goddaughter. She broke her foot for Christmas, and she was hobbling along. But you know what? She didn't have that attitude, like being left out in the cold. She's a very stoic and positive young person. But this has a whole different kind of context, but it's similar but a little bit different. So in this case, this is having a key. This is all about the key. In the traditional Rider-Waite, we see a stained glass window that sort of represents a church or some kind of haven that you could go into. You don't have to be outside in the cold and the snow. You can actually go into this place. And so what it represents to me is that some people put themselves in that position, or it's like a lack mentality, or you see yourself there without realizing that there's other alternatives, there's solutions. And it's interesting that in the Lenormand, the key represents solution, and so that's what this card in this deck represents. It represents the key or some kind of solution to your situation. If you feel like you can't, you feel excluded, or somehow you can't get inside this place to stay warm, or you feel like you're left out in the cold. It is a bit of, like who kind of energy here. It's kind of like, who am I connected to? How can I talk to certain people that will help me open the door? And that's kind of what this is, like finding a way to get through that door, or finding a way to get what you need through connection somehow. Maybe it's not 100% like just plain hard work and getting to where you need to go. This is kind of also using your influence and your know-how, and also maybe sometimes your position or your status or your stature to get into a certain place or get through somehow. And it could also be like, today could be a day that something real simple, like your code to get into your account, some kind of account on your computer or something like that, that maybe at one point you can remember it, and today you're remembering it. Today you got it. I figured out the key code, or figured out how to. Also, oh yeah, key codes, like what you use when you have a Microsoft Office whatever bundle, and then you have to push in the key code or something like that. Today you're doing something like that, maybe for some of you out there. It's just being able to have the access to get into something. It could be a lot of things, like setting up things. Like sometimes you get a gift and the gift is wonderful, but and initially there's a setup to the gift that you get in order to get it to fully work. Sometimes you have to charge something before it's actually working too. Stuff like that. So I feel like that's what's happening here. The Two of Wands generally represents struggle. So let's see if there's any struggles in this deck for you, if that's one of the issues here. Okay, it's wands. Sometimes these definitions have gotten flipped around. Let me see. So this one is kind of interesting. It's all about this statue. It was once like just a plain mold of clay, but somebody was able to mold it into a form that they wanted, and this is supposed to reflect some kind of ambition. So the Two of Wands, generally speaking, isn't a battle at all. Two of Wands is actually having to do, and I mistook, because I'm thinking 5 and Wands, but 5 is Two of Wands. So Two of Wands is very much having some kind of forethought, some kind of plan, some kind of process in order to get something done. So this goes very good with their definition of the 5 of coins. It's like you have the key, the access code, then it's like following a plan, basically, to get something opened up, to get something done. And then the 6 of cups feels kind of like a win-win for everybody. It's like everybody's is receiving the benefits from your abilities to open up. And wine and beautiful women. And so this could be, the key could have something to do with music too, because this one's a music reference. Melodies, the melodies on the score of a score, the piece of music. But that's also like a nostalgia, like Old Lang Syne or something. Somebody could be singing here, and the key could have to do with choosing a certain key to sing. This is very interesting, and it could be very specific for some people out there. Or some kind of thing that you're playing on the piano, or some kind of instrument, or somebody singing. It could have to do with groups of attractive people who are singing, or just like appearing. Maybe you're watching TV or something like that. Maybe it's an observation too. Maybe you're out and about listening to carolers even, or it doesn't even have to have anything to do with the season. It could be just music in general. It could be a kind of celebrating too, and a bit of nostalgia. And nostalgia is mixed in with that. So mingling with people, feeling the nostalgia. It's interesting how all three do tie in this different, unusual interpretation according to this specific deck, and the fact that it's romance. So there's this feeling of nostalgia, thinking about somebody just may be thinking about you having a drink, listening to music. There's this particular key or note that gives them this that kind of creates the whole energy that sort of sets them back in time, or gives them this memory that transforms something. Also, I'm hearing when I do artwork, I like to listen to music as I'm drawing. So it could be somebody painting or sculpting, listening to music as they mold something. And it could be the music itself that they're writing, or something that it's kind of being molded or created. It could be like writing the staves, and marking in the notes, and and things like that. Those are little things that can happen in this Two of Wands energy as well, or the creation that you do when it comes to digital music or whatever, the layers that you use when you're layering music, like in those digital computer programs, and same with art and things like that. So that could be something that's going on today. Also, it's interesting because I like to do digital art, and I like to follow tutorials, and James Joyer is one that I follow, so check him out. And he actually has a key or code to get the color, his color palettes, and then use them to apply to create this beautiful thing that you create. And then later the production that brings a nostalgia or something to you or whoever's watching it could be because you put a certain piece of music to it or something. So that's an example how this can play out for somebody. That would be my personal day kind of story, but your story could be anything. It could just remember how this is it's meant to resonate, but you have to feel your story within it. And if you don't, then it's not meant for you. But if you do, then you're kind of getting some clues on how this is going to unfold for you. And I feel like ultimately it's going to feel like a really happy, productive day, and a bit nostalgic too. And I hope you like that. Faith, Trust, and Pixie Dust.